All right, I'm all over the place from Bangor to New Hampshire. I work for Suntan City, which is the biggest tanning salon chain in New England. And I run across a lot of people who have concerns about tanning. One lady says, I love tanning, but it's so bad for me. Other people think they shouldn't ever go outside without putting sunscreen on. A couple other people here. These are the angrier misconceptions. Tanning would damage my skin, mostly talked to me by women. And then what a great way to get skin cancer. And I'm here to tell you tonight that all of these four things are indeed myths and that tanning in moderation is actually very good for you. Diet and exercise are the two most important factors of human health that any doctor will tell you. What they don't say a lot of times is that vitamin D sufficiency is right behind them. It actually strengthens your immune system. It lowers the risk for diabetes, depression, cancer, heart disease. And unfortunately, 90% of us in this room are actually vitamin D deficient because we live in New England where it's very dark and cold 6 to 7 months out of the year. And when we go to the grocery store, a lot of the products that we find in the store don't actually contain vitamin D. The only natural way you can receive vitamin D is through the sun. You can take a supplement, but it varies from person to person. And if you have too much, it might actually cause your body to overprocess calcium. If you get vitamin D from the sun, it takes what it needs and demetabolizes the extra, so that way you're not getting too little or too much. You could infuse vitamin D into your diet. You'd have to drink 20 to 40 glasses of milk a day, which would make anyone obese. Or you could have 25 servings of wild fresh salmon, which, unless you're a bear, doesn't really sound too appetizing to me. Other people think you have to wear sunscreen whenever you're outside. A lot of people oversimplify this, and some are just guilty of lying. The people that oversimplify are just dermatologists that are playing it safe. They tell everyone stay out of the sun, and that way they cover all their bases. These two people, for example, need entirely different levels of sun. For example, the redhead on the right or on the left will probably burn if she goes out in the sun for very long, and the African American on the right could probably be out all day and not see a burn at all. So they'll oversimplify the message. The ones that are guilty are those that are working for the $30 billion sunscreen industry. They'll twist the message of going out in the sun and getting a nice tan into avoid the sun completely. And unfortunately, they donate money to dermatologists to agree with this message. In 2007, $8 million, for example, was given to the AAD to basically tell people to stay out of the sun completely or to use sunscreen whenever you're outside. And the funny thing is that sunscreen isn't even necessarily good for us. It's been proven by many sources to actually cause allergies, hormone disruption, cell damage, and that's because it has a product called oxybenzone in it, which isn't good for us. And many sources have proven that it doesn't even actually prevent melanoma. This is the one I get the most from women. Every woman wants to look young, and she doesn't want to go tanning because she's scared that it's going to hurt her skin or make her look old and wrinkly. And there is no evidence that suggests that cumulative exposure to the sun causes wrinkles. It's actually the overexposure that makes you look old and wrinkly. It's similar to saying we should stay out of the water at all, or avoid water at all costs because of fear of drowning. Whereas we need the right amount of water, not too much or not too little, and the same thing goes for the sun. The plant on the left is dead because it either didn't get enough sun or it got too much. And human beings are the same way. We need to get enough vitamin D through the sun to live because the sun is a source of life, but we don't need to get too much because we will look old like that plant and shrivel up and die. These two people, unfortunately, have been out in the sun too long, and this is the most serious concern I get, is that tanning will cause skin cancer. Basically, skin cancer is related to heredity, and it's related to overexposure over a long period of time. Evidence of that basically suggested here is the construction worker on the right. The mortality rates of melanoma are lower for those that work outside, and that's because they've developed their natural protection against the sun. They developed a base tan. The people inside have a chance to go out and burn because they haven't gotten that tan. Unfortunately, in the 70s and 80s, many people were reckless with tanning, and that's why a lot of people have skin cancer today. It isn't because of indoor tanning necessarily. Basically, there's a 20 to 30-year latency period for melanoma, so reckless practices in the 70s and 80s brought forth melanoma today, unfortunately. Vitamin D, which is in tanning beds, will help decrease cancer. There's studies suggest that vitamin D will retard the growth of tumor cells located in many of those different types of cancers. The wonderful thing about Suntan City is we have a golden rule, and that is not to ever let our customers burn. Some customers will come in and they'll say, I want to go in for 8 or 9 minutes the first time. And even though sometimes it actually turns away business, we have to say that because we don't believe in burning any of our clients regardless. And sometimes we will have to break the news, you know, I'm only going to have to be able to put you in for 3 or 4 minutes today. And that's unfortunate, but it happens. So we invest a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy in making sure our clients get a good tan, but that they're also very, very safe, because that's the most important thing, is safe tanning. So thank you very much.